fear is a go signal for you. What does that
Yeah.
mean exactly?
So when when you understand that fear is an automatic reaction that is triggered in your subconscious mind, and you ask yourself, well, what is triggering that circuit? Like think of fear as a light switch, on, off. Okay. So if you ask yourself, what does fear or why does the fear circuit activate? Well, it activates because there's something real or imagined from my database of experience, okay, that is causing the fear circuit to activate. So, most people, when the fear circuit's activated, the release of cortisol, epinephrine, or norepinephrine, or adrenaline is rushing through their body. And what they don't realize is it's because of the fight, flight, or freeze signal that fear is. It's part of the sympathetic nervous system being activated. So whenever mine is activated, right, I can feel the surge of that energy, right? It's energy in my body, a neurochemical release, right? So I can feel that energy, and that means, right, that A, I need to be aware of is the danger real or imagined?
Understood. I get
That's
it. I get it. And
right.
that's what should prompt you to take action, to start to figure out
Well,
why you're even feeling that in the first place.
correct. So, am I afraid of taking action because there's real danger? There was danger sometime in my past, okay, or am I imagining the danger because of something I've read or heard about, etc.? So first, it's the awareness piece, right? So whenever I feel fear, the first thing I do is what I call inner size number one, which is take six, calm the circuit of fear. I want to make decisions out of my Einstein brain, not my Frankenstein monster brain. Fear is because this part of the brain's been activated. It's called the right prefrontal cortex. So it's not that I don't want to listen to the signal. I want to understand what tripped that wire. So first thing I do is deactivate. Listen, if I'm like walking on along the street and I'm about to, go off the sidewalk to the street and I hear a car coming and I jump off, perfect time for the fear signal to work, right? I'm just going to retreat fast. No worries. That's a great reaction. But if I want to raise money, if I want to hire employees, if I want to merge with another company, if I want to release weight, even though I've lost and released weight 25 times, if I want to go across the room to ask a young lady or a young man, who they are because I'm attracted to them. If I feel that surge of fear, that's because something in my memory, okay, in my experience library is activating that there might be something that can cause me to fail, to be embarrassed, ashamed, ridiculed, judged, to be disappointed, to be rejected. So I want to calm that circuit first. I want to thank the signal, calm the circuit, and then I want to be aware of like what is causing that. So inner size number one is take six, calm the circuit. Inner size number two is called AIA, which is standing for I want to be aware of my thoughts, emotions, feelings, sensations, and behaviors. Now I'm operating from a state of awareness. I want to analyze those, and then I want to set my intention. What's my intention? Well, my intention is to follow through and do this because I want the reward. My intention is to protect myself. Great. How can I do that? So Aya is awareness, intention. Then what's one action I could take that moves me towards what I want and not away from it? Now who's in control? Now who's gaining more self-confidence? Now who's gaining more self-trust? Now who's gaining more awareness? Now who is taking inspired action? And now who is deliberately and consciously evolving themselves being versus being a victim of past conditioning, in many cases my parents.
So you are all when you feel that fear, that's like your flag that I need to follow these steps, take these actions, get the hell out of my comfort zone. So fear is an indicator for that you're pushing outside your comfort zone, basically. And that's
Absolutely.
it. Yeah.
And also think about this. Why do firefighters get training on going into a burning building or a building that's blowing up. And how do they manage the fear? Death. I mean, death is possible, real death. That's like the highest level of fear. Navy SEALs, when they discovered that there was an issue many years ago, Scott, when Navy SEALs were going through the entire motions of becoming a Navy SEAL. Many of them failed the last test. What was the last test? They were submerged underwater with all of their equipment on, and 3 instructors would go down there with them, 20 feet below the water. They'd remove their mask, remove their BC, the regulator. They shut off their air supply. They pulled off their fins. They created chaos. And you know what the Navy SEALs that were untrained wanted to do? Bolt right up because they were afraid they're going to die. And when they taught the Navy SEALs to stay calm so they could respond versus react out of fear, they graduated 50% more Navy SEALs. What was the difference? The difference was mental awareness, emotional control, and practicing the skill of staying calm. They teach it to Navy SEALs. They teach it to firefighters. They teach it to astronauts when life is on the line. Well, those are the Olympic athletes of emotional control. Well, that means that we could be better at mental focus and emotional control. And what if it's just a function of practicing?
We can at least
The
make the
reason I
juniors.
started, well, the reason I started my company, my NeuroGym, right, and the reason I wrote Inner Size is to give people the understanding that we have this $100 billion biocomputer, the most advanced, sophisticated, organism, as I like to call it, in the universe. We already own it. No mortgage, no payment plans, but we're maybe not very good operators of it. And so part of my war cry is to help people understand that you are capable of way more than you're displaying right now. I mean, me too. So I just want to constantly never end, my improvements.
I love that. All right, that's a good spot to pause here. I want to do a couple of rapid fire at the end. We went through everything that I wanted to go into, so I'm really happy and thank you.